This is Oldecam.
And Notaspringchick, and as most of you already know, today is July 1st, and it's the date for the hands-free law here in California, as well as Washington
And other states.
So we want to expand on part of that. We've already done a feature on the hands-free law, which you may want to look at, because that will actually give you more detail. But we want to add some more things to it, because there's always something new to add on that, isn't there?
Yeah, well, first to quote a Monty Bowman just a few days ago, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because you can go hands-free doesn't mean you should even be using a cell phone to begin with in the car. And why not?
Why not? Well, because according to the study, okay, here's one of them. They're saying that talking on the cell phone in the car is worse than driving drunk.
Right.
Okay, and a lot of you with the 4th of July coming up, I've had to wear this JC. It's cognac.
Yeah.
It's Jacques Cartier.
I'm wearing my, life or death hat because 4th of July, I mean, it's coming up. It's going to be Friday of this week, and people are going to be drinking, they're going to be driving, and they're going to be using cell phones. 3 bad things to be doing on the 4th.
Those are all really bad, and they're probably tired because they've been out in the sun. So expect a lot more law enforcement out there.
Yeah, actually,
do you think?
There's going to be more enforcement out where you don't expect them to be this year.
Now, why would that be?
Because there's less money for gasoline, so they're going to be marshaling their forces where they know they can get you.
Oh, so if you're going to a bar and you're walking to your car, it's all parked in an area.
If you're going to a 4th celebration, a public 4th celebration, if you're going to a sporting events, count on the police to be there.
Yeah.
Absolutely count on them to be there.
And include extra time to go through the police barricades.
That's right.
They may be checking.
And they're, even though it's a means of getting extra revenue for the areas the police are in, it's actually, if the more they slow you down, the better off you are, because you got to get a time to recover from whatever you don't want them to know about.
It's also a deterrent, so other people won't be doing it.
If they see the police sitting there, they're going to go drink and drive.
That's good.
Right.
That's a really good.
But they're already, they're still using the cell phones with hand. They're using the, they're not using hands-free. They've got it stuck in their ear. We've seen them go with that today.
Well, and there's a few little variations on the law. First of all, here's cell phone in the car. It's hands-free cell phone rules for drivers in California take effect. But there are states that currently already have laws. Some are hands-free. Some have an age, like they ban any cell phone use by drivers younger than 18 years old, and some will ban text messages by driver. This is from the National Conference of State Legislatures.
Right now, basically, there's only 4 states that really have hands-free.
And this is courtesy of the LA Times.
Yeah. So, the LA Times does do some good things, folks, even though they are to the left of everything.
They do have some really good things on there.
Yeah.
But that's, again, the source is the National Conference of State Legislatures.
Yeah.
But if you're in your state, know what your state's laws are.
Yeah, and to put it this way, if you don't use hands-free, they're going to ban the use of cell phones, period, across this nation in cars.
Now, that would be really bad.
Well, because it is a matter, insurance, the National Insurance Council says that using cell phones in the car, basically anything that distracts you from driving is not good, and using cell phones distracts you. I mean, you hear that ring, you do it. I mean,
you can't help it.
Okay, your hands-free will tell you missed call.
I know.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. Microsoft, we saw some really neat things on the Flex automobile that Microsoft supplies Ford with, but it's all touch screen. If you're busy touching the screen, one hand is not on the steering wheel.
Well, the same thing goes if you're eating, you're putting on makeup, you're shaving, you're smoking.
That's right.
You have one hand on the kid.
Everybody.
Anything that's a distraction.
Everybody eats and drives. Unfortunately, everybody drinks and drives. I mean, you see the police department.
We're not talking about alcoholic beverages.
No, we're talking
going
to a fast food place, and here comes chicks helicopters, and they're coming down low. That's what a swimsuit will do for you.
Although I'm covered up here.
Like I said, just because you can legally use a cell phone in a car with hands-free, with an earpiece, with what's the device you have in your car?
The Bluetooth. It's by NXT.
NXT.
Awesome.
It's a really awesome thing because you can also
Bluetooth,
use
wireless.
it. Yeah, you use it as a speaker too for things if you want to, but still, it distracts you because like I said, if it's just like the 4th of July, the more people abuse the 4th of July with fireworks, the more fireworks restrictions you have.
It's one of the things they're trying not. Do they ban the fireworks?
No, they're thinking about it in California, putting a halt to all fireworks displays and everything this 4th because of the fire problems. But cell phones, basically, you're allowed to use them as a courtesy. It's just the same thing as they give you a driver's license doesn't mean that you have, it's not an inalienable right to have a driver's license. It's not an inalienable right to have a cell phone in your car. It can be taken away. Mm-hmm. And, they figure with it, they said they hope that they hope the law will save 300 lives. But the problem is a lot of people that have had the accidents have also had hands-free and distraction what caused the accidents.
And part of it is I have heard that if you are on a cell phone and you have an accident, that you're automatically at fault.
That's right.
Is that true?
That's right. Because if they see that, if somebody says you were talking on a cell phone, hand-free or not, you're screwed. Your insurance company, at the very least,
of course, you could be talking to yourself.
Yeah, it doesn't make it. Okay, it's the same thing. If you are listening, if you have an iPod stuck in your ears, you have an accident, it's the same thing as talking on a cell phone hands-free.
Oh, that's true, huh?
Right. So, the best thing to do, the very best advice we can give anybody, besides not drinking and driving, is don't use the cell phone in your car to begin with. Shut the thing off and drive. I mean, you lived without cell phones before cell phones existed. You don't need a cell phone to drive in your car.
You don't?
No, you don't. You don't need to talk to somebody when you're driving.
You always catch up with people.
I know, but you don't.
You got to exercise some of that caution anyway. Now, there are some exemptions to this. Now, if you are under the age of 18, yes, you really need to pay attention because on some of them, whether you're hands-free or not, you cannot drive with a cell phone.
Right.
Okay, hands-free or not. Also, you can use it in an emergency, such as to call law enforcement, medical provider, fire department.
Well, that's what the cell phone is really great for.
That's right.
If you
use it, but what its intention.
That's right, its intention. That's why all the police officers carry cell phones. We were talking to a gentleman yesterday at the Passport Division. He had his regular communications device, but he had a cell phone as the emergency device. The cell phone is great.
That's true. Now here's the stuff you really want to know about. What are the fines?
Yeah.
Here in California, base fine for the first offense is $20, and it's $50 for subsequent convictions. But with addition of penalty assessment, the total amount can be more than triple the base fine. The other part is a lot of times when they pull you over, it's not so much that they're going to pull you over for one thing, it's that they'll check you and they may pull you over for multiple offenses all at the same time because maybe they can stop you and get you for 3 or 4 offenses and somebody else they can get for 1.
Yeah.
So by doing that, you just give them more ammunition.
Oh, and
right?
Another good piece of advice. If you're at one of those stops, at a sporting event or something of forth, don't drive up to the thing with the cell phone being used.
Yeah.
That is they're going to yank you aside real quick.
Because they're checking you for drinking already. Cell phone, you're just adding extra ammunition. That's right. So, here's the other thing is, when you receive a violation point on your driver's license if you're convicted, the conviction will appear on your driving record. So, the conviction for hands-free, right?
It's a portable offense. God, that's a new one, a portable offense.
What is that? Reportable. It's a reportable offense.
Reportable offense, but they won't know points. But there's more and more. We're going to talk about this more over the next few days. But for the moment,
this is Notaspringchick
and Oldecam coming to you with the series about not using cell phones in your cars.
And check your local and state laws.